different problems and challenges which countries face as a result of their education structure and curriculum.
The government is responsible for the management and regularization of education.
If we, collectively pick Africa or perhaps Nigeria as a society and compare it to countries in the West, like in the US, you could see that there's a wide gap.
That everyone has a fundamental human right to be educated.
Show them how we do it.
We would like to say welcome back to the second edition of this talk on why curriculum restructuring is important. In my humble opinion, although all curriculums share one goal to help students learn, since the positive outcome for students starts with a solid plan, I would like to say that developing or underdeveloped countries should learn to construct their curriculum. A curriculum does much more than to guide lessons in reading and calculations. It can help schools just as much as students, from teachers to administration, and it can help schools connect with parents and the community around them. Some of our listeners might be wondering why we are emphasizing curriculum restructuring in Africa and other underdeveloped countries. First and foremost, a good curriculum keeps up with a changing world. While we keep swimming in the curriculum designed by our colonial masters, they have moved on, incorporating STEM education even at the basic or primary level. That's why we see kids in Western countries doing well and always prepared to solve problems, as mentioned in the first section of this discussion by Dr. Ignatius. If you haven't watched that section, do well by clicking on the icon above. If the education policy makers care to know, a good curriculum should never be a one and done initiative. It should be revisited regularly, reviewed and modified if necessary, by giving room for new topics that are relevant to the current problems and challenges we face today. The regular discussion about the curriculum creates opportunity to get all stakeholders involved. Teachers, administration, parents and community. By so doing, a good curriculum opens the door for collaboration, enables teachers to align and look at the big picture of students learning under a measurable plan or target. Evidently, it makes learning and teaching consistent. The question here is, can we truly say that public and private students in Nigeria are taught on the same level? No matter where a student learns within a country or state, students of the same class should be able to sit and write the same exam. Another factor that a good curriculum creates and reflects is culture and identity. The removal of history in the education curriculum of Nigeria in 2009 caught my attention. History is a balanced interpretation and reconstruction of the past based on evidence, with a focus on causation, context, and cause of events. The ignorance of history creates a vacuum that misinformation and outright falsehood can exploit. In the age of European imperialism in Africa, it was said that Africans had no history worth studying beyond European activities on the continent, until pioneer academic historians debunked it. To name a few, the likes of Kenneth Dike and Ade Ajayi. They convincingly demonstrated the reality and vitality of African past way before European intrusion. They justified and popularized the use of oral sources to reconstruct the African past. It is also interesting to know that a sound knowledge of the past is the basis of nationalism or patriotism, the driving force in modern nation building. History creates or reinforces national identity and self-definition. The United States, the United Kingdom, Japan and China are striking example of teaching of history in the central plank of the curriculum. Knowledge of history has driven the patriotism exhibited by citizens of those countries. History can give people a proper appreciation of the place of their nation among others. Another question for our listeners: what aspects of your country's education system are you proud of or can place as an advantage over that of other countries? White developed countries see their curriculum as a key player in keeping up with the speed of the changing trend in technology, skills, and innovation. What do we see our curriculum as in the underdeveloped and developing countries? While we reflect on these questions, Dr. Matthew will please tell us his view on what the underdeveloped and developing countries are doing wrong in the education system and curriculum. Thank you.
Yeah, in terms of educational curriculum and structure, you see, I'd love to emphasize on that aspect of structure because I see a lot of error, a lot of mistake, a lot of limitations coming from that angle. What do I mean by that? Under no circumstance can we compare the level of infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, it transcends beyond the issue of curriculum on itself. But from an holistic view, it speaks deeply into the extent of investments that these countries, for example, Nigeria or let's say Africa, makes on education compared to the West. If we have to loop everything, we still see that the game is still about leadership. It is no more news that, in fact, in Africa, leadership is done on the basis of compensation, not on merit. For example, look at what quality can we pick up from the current Minister of Education in Nigeria. And that has been the trend, from local government to state, they just compensate. And when you put these people in those positions, they don't have any interest in developing the entire structure of education itself. So I really see more problem with the structure, even far beyond the curriculum. Of course, like I said, it's all encompassing. But the aspect of structure, I believe the level of investment is extremely low. Recently, I saw the statistics between what our legislator takes compared to the annual budget on education. Our legislators take as much as 120 billion, that's their overall budget, 122 billion, while the entire education sector of a country of 100 million is just 62 billion. When you look at all of these things, you can really see the reasons why you go to every state, there are no standard buildings, there are no standard libraries, there are no competent teachers. That's why I said there are more problems coming from that angle, even far beyond the issue of curriculum. You are really explaining that, and the issue of curriculum also is a problem. Part of it is set of history. There's a popular statement by Malcolm X. He said, when you want to delude somebody, just take history from it. It's just like somebody you just put inside the jungle. He doesn't know the route to escape, whether right or left or all of these things. So if you see that all these things, when you look it together, there are some of the reasons why we are not doing not even up to a fraction of what the Westerners or the Asians are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really enjoy your explanation.
Show them how we do it.